It's just a privilege to be a judge in Ontario, to say that I am part of that process in upholding the laws of this country and helping the laws of this country develop.
The Honourable Justice Kofi Barnes has redefined the possible by helping others do the same. Justice Barnes is co-founder of Canada's first drug treatment court in Toronto, founder of the Metro West Community Restoration Court, and founder of the Durham Mental Health and Drug Treatment Court, programs that are now being replicated across the nation. A graduate of York's Osgoode Hall Law School, Justice Barnes was appointed to the Ontario Superior Court of Justice in 2013.
The work I do with persons who've got addiction problems and mental health problems, it's also special because it shows the resilience of the human spirit. And seeing people overcome difficulties, challenges they have in their lives, it's just so rewarding. I remember many years ago, as I observed people who have mental health problems or people who have drug addiction problems show up on the first day looking totally lost, and observe them transform their lives over a period of time. Initially, I was just in shock. Then I was encouraged. Then I was inspired. I realized that as much as I helped them, they helped me. And that is when I was like, yes, this is where I belong and this is what I'm going to do. The Osgoode experience, being one of the largest law schools, was great because there were so many different clerks, so many different experiences, there were so many people from so many different parts. And what was great is, in addition to just learning the law, you were challenged in different ways. The interesting thing about a university experience is it broadens your outlook, and it happens so gradually that you don't really realize. It opens you up to different ideas, opens you up to different ways of thinking. I am really, really thrilled to receive this award. And the fact that it came from a school that I went to is even special. But what it also does is also highlight what I've always been saying, that anybody can redefine the possible in their own sphere if they choose to do so. Because everybody has that capability. When you see the resilience of the human spirit, or when you see what you've done come together, it is powerful.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2014 Bryden recipient of Redefine the Possible, Kofi Barnes.
This is indeed an honor, and I have many to thank. Frank Clark and my wife, Beverly, thank you for, I do not know how you kept this a secret. You did a fabulous job. Thank you for thinking that I was worthy enough of the award and for your nomination, Frank. Justice Katrina Mulligan, you are special, and you have been a wonderful supporter over the years. And I want to thank you for the wonderful words that you wrote. For Justice Paul French, Rick Goslin, and Wade Hillier, words cannot express my gratitude to you in terms of your words of support. I also thank Antonio Lumber. Antonio and I traveled in so many countries over the years. I'm surprised my wife still talks to him. But Antonio, thank you for your support. Mom, you are my mother, one of the best, if not the best. You are, in fact, the best. And I just want to thank you and Dad. All you have to do is look at the 6 of us and the special work you did. Thank you. Nana, you're my sister. You show me no respect. I will show you none, except to say I'm proud of you and I love you. For my daughter Cecilia, Alexander, Nicholas, you are special and you are close to me. and you are special to your mother and I. The fact that my mother-in-law allowed me into her home, that my father-in-law did not chase me but embraced me, that my sister-in-law did not knock me on the head but welcomed me, I thank them. For Cameron, my nephew, you helped me pick my next car. You have so much information. You are so smart. Thank you, my man. Nicole Young, Sheena Noel, you helped make sure that things didn't become disastrous. Ladies and gentlemen, I happen to work in what I can tell you is the busiest courthouse and court jurisdiction in Canada. And all of us as judges are so busy that we hardly have time to take care of our personal things. And it was amazing that Nicole and Sheena were kind enough to make sure that things worked out, even though I was not able to respond to their calls and emails on time. I want to thank you. I meant no disrespect. I was just in over my head. The selection committee, thank you very much. You thought I was worthy, and I thank you. I've met many people who are in charge of moving this great university in a fabulous fashion. For all of you who are charting the course for this university, I thank you. Osgoode Hall Law School. I had no idea the impact Osgoode was going to have on my life. I went to Osgoode because medical school said no. I now realize that going to Osgoode was one of the best things that could have happened to my life. Ladies and gentlemen, in 1997, I was summoned to the office of another York grad, another Osgoode Hall alumni, the late Honorable Mr. Justice Bentley. I had been told by my superiors that the man called Justice Bentley had a special project for me. I was concerned because as a very young lawyer, I was not used to getting the prize assignments. Paul Bentley explained that he had noticed that no matter what he did with drug-addicted offenders, no matter how much jail time he gave them, they kept coming back. He said he had done some research and found that there was something called drug court in the United States, and he wanted to develop a special Canadian model. He said he wanted to develop something that integrated treatment with the court process. So I said, Your Honor, you mean that you want to ensure that when you make orders for them to go for treatment via probation, they will go? He said, no. He said, I want to bring treatment into the courtroom. I want to assist these people to overcome their addiction and become productive members of our society. And I said, Your Honor, I think you mean that you would like to make an order for them to go for treatment. And he said, no. I said, Your Honor, this is a big deal. Why are you talking to me? He says, Kofi Barnes, I'm told you are the man for the job. I said, oh my God, to myself. My career is over. Nowhere in this great land of ours have I seen anybody engage in such a program. I was in trouble. It was over. But like my mother and father taught me, when you are given lemon, turn it into lemonade. And Paul was also being told by his colleagues he was crazy in any event. So then a judge and a lawyer became joined at the hip because we were in the same canoe. We had no place to go. We had to get to shore or we would drown together. So there began a bond and a friendship as we worked to demonstrate that one can innovate and one can change. That the fact that it's not been done before doesn't mean it cannot be done. It is not surprising that we're both graduates of York University. It's not surprising that we're both graduates of Osgoode Hall Law School. For there we were taught to believe. For there we were taught that we could change. For there we were taught that we could use the law to create change. We could use the law to save lives. We could use the law to achieve social justice. So, despite the naysayers, despite those who said it was impossible, we learned that if we shared with others what we believe, and if we told them and explained to them how we had come up with an idea that was going to change a human circumstance, and one that was going to benefit the human circumstance individually and collectively, we will inspire others to join us. And we did inspire others to join us. And we worked and worked. And across this great land of ours, the idea grew. My daughter doesn't know this, but one of the happiest times of my life was when she sent me a scanned component of a bar admission course, criminal procedure, where there was a section that was dedicated to that thing that was conceived in that office on that day. And that is when I knew that we had arrived, and that is when I wish my friend Paul was here to see it. Paul had lost his life a couple of years ago after a strong and long battle with a nasty illness. From across this great land, and in fact, in 14 countries outside Canada, this idea that began as a ludicrous idea has taken hold. Across our country, in some part of our country, CB writes the following: "For the last 18 years, I've been addicted to crystal meth and spent 8 of those years in jail. If I wasn't in jail, the cops were always looking for me. And in the last year, I started setting goals, and for the first time in my life, I finished goals. I did this sober. I got off the medication. I got a job. I started apprenticing in roofing. I got my driver's license. I am not just a low-life thug. I feel proud of myself, and that is the greatest feeling." From yet another corner of our great country, a person who only identifies themselves as a DTC alumni says, "Community restoration means that I'm paying back to society what I once took. I have taken from society for many years, and now I can give back and be active in my community. I can be happy knowing that I am no longer destroying people, places, or things in my community." And one last message from yet another part of our great country. I am thankful that I live in a country where such programs are able to exist in partnerships with the very communities that, as a former detriment to society, I was participating in for the worst. I am thankful that I was given the opportunity to reevaluate my life, and at age where when people believe in you, you are never too old to become new. I am thankful for being given a second chance at becoming the person I know I could be if only given a chance. Well, I got that chance. A lot of other people I knew never made it out of their addictions alive. And perhaps they might still be here today if they have been given a chance to access a drug treatment court. It's amazing how a vision can grow. It's amazing how a vision that was supposed to reach nothing, a vision that was supposed to die, could become so powerful. We have heard stories, we have heard examples of the resilience of the human spirit. It is amazing what we can achieve as humans when we set a goal to improve our circumstances, when we inspire others to join us by explaining why our ideas will be beneficial to the individual and the collective circumstances. it is not surprising that the two persons who are at the forefront of this innovative effort were both graduates of one of the best law schools in our country, York University's Osgood Hall. Paul Bentley, 77, Kofi Barnes, 1991. Osgood taught us the importance of the predictability of the law as a tool in maintaining peace, order, and tranquility in a peaceful and democratic society. But Osgood also taught us that the law seeks to bring order to human behavior. Human behavior evolves over time. For the law to be an effective check on the excesses of human behavior, it must have the respect of the community. It must be relevant to the community. To maintain that respect, the law must have the ability to evolve as human behavior and norms evolve. The evolution of the law helps keep it relevant. It is our unique Osgood perspective that helped us innovate and define that what was impossible. It helped us make it possible. It's funny how sometimes you come up with an absurd idea, all of a sudden it becomes a mainstream idea. You know, Michelangelo said, the greater danger for most of us is not that our aim is too high and that we miss it, but that it is too low and we reach it. York University, Osgood Hall, has given me a creative and innovative lens with which I approach my legal career and for which I remain grateful. I am grateful for this award, and I dedicate it to my friend and Osgood alumni, Paul Bentley. Thank you very much.